Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another Valorant Pro League video, and we're going to be doing something a little bit interesting, mainly because of the fact that I have left it so late to do my pick'ems that we have 5 minutes. So, can I predict what's going to happen in 5 minutes? We're going to start off with saying that I definitely got loads wrong, but we'll get back to that. If you want to watch that, the video will be linked to the top. Go watch how terribly wrong I was. But Fnatic versus Loud, we're going to go Fnatic. They're way too strong. Paper X for, sorry for. I'm really impressed that they got through, but Paper X are just looking like something else. So we're going to go with Paper X. DRX Billy Billy, as much as I've been absolutely loving what Billy Billy have been doing, they have been just taking it to NRG continuously, which has been great. DRX are looking like they're on another level this tournament, so we're going to go with them. EG Edward Gaming. I am really hoping that Edward do be gaming in this set, and I think he's going to absolutely smash through that. So then we get into the lower round. I think this is where Foot potentially leaves, but you know what? Top 8 finish. That's something they can take to the bank. It's a lot better than most of the EU teams. It's a lot better than Navi. It's a lot better than Liquid. So yeah, there's nothing to be ashamed of there. But I think that is probably where they see their end. Billy Billy EG. I also think this is potentially where Billy Billy see their end. As much as I think or hope that EDG will be taking the EG game in that first set, I do think Evil Geniuses are good enough to be making it further on in the bracket. So they take that game against Billy Billy. But hey, everyone's been writing them off, so who knows? They're potentially going to be, win. Maybe they win the whole thing. Who knows? Fnatic Paper Rex. What a game this is going to be. I'm so upset this is happening so early on. I would hope it'd be at least upper final, but I'm going to give it to Fnatic. That's going to be one hell of a game, and that's probably where I'll get it wrong, to be honest. DRX EDG. This will be a matchup as well, and I'm going to have to give it to DRX. I think LAN DRX are just something else. Yeah, I think DRX have got to win it. Then we get to the lower round 2, EDG Loud. I'm going to go with EDG. I'm believing the hype. Can is going to diff Aspas. It's going to be fantastic. No, but honestly, I think Loud will potentially struggle in this match. I think this is where the wheels will start coming off as they did last time against DRX in the groups. Paper X EG, I think this is potentially where EG actually run their course. I think if the bracket was the other way around and they were facing Loud, they have more of a chance of getting up, but sadly not. They face Paper X and they will go out. So we have Fnatic, DRX in the upper final. Fnatic, I just can't see anyone else beating them at the moment. There's only one team that I think potentially beats them. I still don't think they do. But EDG, Paper X, I think this is where Edward stops gaming and Paper X take that map, or that set actually. I don't think it'll be a close one either. I think Paper X will really start showing what they're made of in these two games here. And then Paper X, DRX. We love to see a bit of Paper X DRX. There's always a match of Paper X DRX. I'm taking it as Paper X, and then we are going to go Fnatic in the grand final because we are a shill, and we're going to submit that. And boom, they're done. That's great. We've done it in 5 minutes. So let's go through them just a little bit more in detail. How we think it's going to go. What I think we're potentially looking at. Fnatic Loud, I don't think that's going to be as close as it was back in lock-in. I think Loud have been on a downward trajectory and Fnatic have been on the up. Even with their dominance in NA, I think this tournament has shown us that, or not in NA, but the Americas, I think this tournament has shown us that Americas isn't as strong as everyone assumed it was or thought it was, especially the Americans. I believe they thought it was a hell of a lot stronger region than everyone else thought it was. So I think Fnatic probably take an easy win here. I think the painting the idea of like, stress, it's like lock-in again, and I think it's not even going to be similar to that match. I think it's going to be an easy one for Fnatic, and I think they take that map. Paper X versus Foot. You know what? I'm so impressed by Foot getting through to the top 8. It's another event where they've shown people that they are they're here to stay. They're a good team. I'm really excited to see EMEA next year and see what they can do, because they've really stepped up in these last couple months. Hopefully, maybe they can find like a big name signing that they potentially want to bring in, but I don't really know who that would be. But with a bit more time behind them, a bit more time as a whole squad, maybe a new coach, I don't know, trying something new, just trying to push from where they are now to sort of that, that top 6 finish, because they're finishing top 8, so that is quality. But how can they take that next step? I think it's got to be in their mind. So, but yeah, Paper X are just so dominant. They echo Fnatic in a way where I think both those teams have game plans where if someone falters, it doesn't matter. Whereas other teams, the other 6 teams in this, clearly have game plans, and in certain instances when people die, they very much struggle to find ways to continue what their plan is, or sort of push without the opposing team potentially making some mistakes, falling into some traps, whatever it might be. But I think both those teams just, one person dies, doesn't matter. We're drilled. We know what we're doing. We'll run it. We'll keep running it down. They're just quality. So yeah, Paper X win that. I think they've got way more than Foot can deal with. DRX Billy. I think Billy have done really well to take the games off of NRG that they have. They were sublime. They were so incredible to watch. But I think when you then come up against the team that is confident and they're drilled like they did against Fnatic, it shows that they will struggle. And I think DRX are definitely on that one at the moment. And DRX have had the most time to prep, so I'm assuming they're going to come into this full steam. They're going to be ready for this lower bracket run, so or just the bracket run in general. So yeah, I think they win this one, and Billy drop to lower bracket. And then EDG, the E's and the G's. I think EG having a bit of we did well last tournament, and they've now got a bit of an ego of themselves, is going to be their downfall. They've been talking maybe too much smack, and I think EDG will be massively up for this game. And I think that's when, if the crowd's behind them, which from the sounds of most of those games, people are loving the Chinese teams. It feels like there's more Chinese fans in that arena than there are American. And if they are up for it, I think EDG will just steamroll. They'll come off the hype of the crowd and they will steamroll EG. So then we move into the lower brackets, and we got Loud and Foot. Again, I think Foot are great, but I don't think they are just that caliber of team to take on a team like Loud. As much as I think that Loud are on the decline, I still think that they're probably too much for Foot to handle. And it's kind of the same with Billy. I think they played really well in their groups. Who knows, if EG do lose to EDG and have an absolute meltdown, then maybe Billy go through, and then they face Paper X, and then they'll lose there as well. So, I mean, I've nothing against Billy. I absolutely love the performances that they've had. Some of those, just the shouting across the stage is chef kiss, beautiful. I just think they're going to potentially struggle here. And I think EG are, as it looks like in this tournament, a little bit more on it and potentially drilled than NRG is. Who would have thought someone would have said that? Incredible. But anyway, we then look at the upper semis. We'll go upper semis. We'll dive into that a little bit. I think this will probably be, as I say, this is potentially the one where I've got, there could be not an upset, because I think almost everyone will have Paper X or Fnatic at the end. But I have more faith in Fnatic falling to lower bracket and then winning than I do Paper X winning this match and then winning overall. I just still can't see anyone other than Boaster, Mini, Leo, Durka, Chronicle, and Althea lifting that trophy at the end of this week or so period for this bracket. But that being said, yeah, I'm gonna go with the fact that Fnatic just stay as dominant as they have been pretty much all year, and they just keep winning. And that will be a close match for sure. DRX and EDG, as much as it pains me to say, I do think that DRX will do. Like I say, they've had the most time to prep for this, because they're the first team to qualify to come out of groups. I think DRX is going to be massively up for these games. They're going to be massively prepared, and they've just seemed that the games that they played in that Group D, they were on it. They were so drilled. They were, certain rounds was just flawless, and it looked like prime DRX again, which is so good to see. You know, I love seeing RB putting up numbers and just performing like an absolute god again. So yeah, I think they potentially have too much here for the EDG. As much as the Chinese Valorant is absolutely smashing it, I think this is where EDG dropped to the lower bracket. So then EDG to Loud. If Foot can get a game, a match, a map off of Loud, then I am way more convinced that EDG win this, potentially as a clean sweep as well, because I do just think, like I sort of said in my recent predictions, the predictions before this for Loud, if it starts going bad for them, I think the wheels will start coming off, and that is exactly what happened with them in the groups. As much as I might not have got things 100% correct, I got that correct. I got the fact that they were going to struggle. They were probably going to come out strong, then lose, and then start really losing. And it did. That's exactly what the DRX game looked like. So, yeah, I think this will happen again, and I think EDG will take it. Paper X and EG, I don't think we need to have a discussion about this one. Again, Paper X just looks so strong. So strong. And I just don't see anyone other than Fnatic being able to beat them. I think whoever they come up against, they will beat, unless they're in a jersey that looks like it's on fire. Interesting choice for the jersey, but nonetheless, we move. Upper final, Fnatic DRX. Again, DRX will look strong. I reckon this will be an interesting game as well. I'm actually very much looking forward to it. I really hope that I get these right and these guys get to play each other, because this will be a fantastic game as well. I think the last, if this bracket is correct, the last 4 games we will watch will be absolute barn burners, and I think people will need some time to rest and recuperate from watching PRX, EDG, DRX, PRX, Fnatic DRX, Fnatic Paper X. Like that's they're just going to be so good. They're going to be so good, but I still think Fnatic win because it's Fnatic. So then that moves, yeah, the EDG Paper X one obviously said Paper X, so that moves us back into the lower final, DRX Paper X. And I think this one is actually potentially more of a dominant victory for Paper X than what I've said. You know, I think DRX are going to have good performances, but I think Paper X will really have this grit and determination and potentially just wipe the floor with them in this game. You know, and this isn't like probably a hot take, because in reality in the league, DRX only lost to one team, and it's Paper X. So yeah, I think potentially the writing's on the wall if and when these guys meet, which I think will be potentially in that lower final. So we move into the grand final, Fnatic Paper X. I would be getting the popcorn out, getting some drinks, getting your adult nappies ready, because I think we're going to be in for a long one with this. I think this will have flashbacks of lock-in, and this will go to 5 matches. I'd love it to go to 5 matches. Hell, I tell you what, the last 4 games, again, if this goes correct, I think they're best of 3 anyway. The first few, maybe only the finals are best of 5s, but yeah, just go the max, every single one. That'd be fantastic. I would love all of it. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really tense game. I think this is going to be some of the best Valorant. I reckon it'll probably be the best Valorant we've ever seen. I think these are 2 teams that are just the best 2 teams in the world at the moment, and it's always great to see this. And obviously, this is very much on paper. This is the teams that I think, the only ones that I'm potentially saying that is going against the on paper is the EDG victories against EG and Loud. Everything else I think is pretty much as you would expect. But yeah, I think this is going to be peak Valorant as it stands, and this will be the game that people next season will be looking at to go, we need to perform like this, or we need to find ways to outperform this, and this will be the game to look at. So I'm really excited. This is my predictions. A little bit shorter than last time. Whizzed through that stuff, a little bit out of breath from just whizzing through all that stuff. let's see how it goes. I am not confident after the last predictions. BBG managed to both impress me and completely ruin my pick'ems, as well as almost every other person's pick'ems. So, you know, who knows? We will see where we go. And this video is coming out very late, so if you are watching this just before the games, then let's hear what your predictions are before we start getting into them. And if you're watching it after the matches or partway through this knockout system, then please tell me how wrong I am, because I'm sure we've got partway through and I've got so many wrong that I thought would be correct. Foot make a massive run and it's Foot Billy in the final. That would be scenes. People would lose their mind. I would all for it, but I can't see it past Fnatic PRX in the final. But anyway, if you watched this far, I appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of the day. By the time this comes out, it'll only be probably an hour or so before the first match starts, which I think is Fnatic Loud. So I hope you do enjoy that game, and yeah, hopefully I see you guys in the next one, and peace out.